Philadelphia, it's time again. Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to hopefully a very exciting 2017 Philadelphia Eagles season. Well, this week we traveled down to Washington to play the Washington Redskins week 1, and hopefully the start of something special this year. Before I get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about where we are as an Eagles team. We have to start off with that. I know it took a lot of time off at the end of our season, which we weren't in the playoffs last year. We made lots of moves. I want to give a quick shout out to Eagles channels that I watch, like Philly 500, Desert Eagle 90, Fly Eagles Fly. I watch them a lot, actually myself, during the off season. Keep up to date with current Eagles news, encouragement, and just rants. It's absolutely awesome. So I appreciate you 3 channels and the other ones that I watch for holding me over during the off season, keeping me at a good level. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. But now the regular season, and I'm back. So what did we do this off season? We did a lot. We got rid of some friendly faces. I don't want to say get rid of, because I'm going to miss a couple of them, like John Dorenbos, really good guy, long snapper for the Eagles a long time. Jordan Matthews, which not only, as I expressed in the video before, was a good asset on the field, but also off the field, which I've actually seen him invest himself in our city. And I'm going to reiterate it again. I hope you do well up in Buffalo. Buffalo, I hope you guys take care of that man. He's a good man. He actually did well for us as a city here in Philadelphia. We also drafted some players that I'll be talking about. We also didn't keep some players that I thought we should have on our regular roster, our 53-man roster. So that being said, let's just go right through the lineup real quick, and then we're going to talk about the Redskins. Where are we going to start? Let's start with defense. That defensive line. Of course, Derek Barnett coming. Supposed to be this great pass rusher and looked great during the preseason. Fletcher Cox really anchoring that line. Tim Jernigan got traded for it. We traded Baltimore Ravens to get him, to put him alongside of Fletcher Cox. Signed free agent Chris Long, I get it, but then really it's Brandon Graham. So if you look at that lineup, that initial lineup, it looks like Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham, Tim Jernigan, Fletcher Cox. That defensive line supposedly is going to be one of the best in the league. Our linebackers, Jordan Hicks, a little injured. Supposed to be middle linebacker, supposed to be healthy. Michael Kendricks, Bradham. So again, those linebackers, yeah. Can they be considered some liabilities? Like I heard liability Michael Kendricks guarding tight ends, but he can blitz and get sacks with the best. So, and interceptions, which he did once again in the preseason. Okay. So looking at that front 7 going to a 4-3. We look like we're supposed to be significantly dominant there. Being able to stop the run, being able to get at the quarterback. That's what we look like we're supposed to do. Then, of course, we traded for Ronald Darby. Put him alongside Jalen Mills on the outside. McLeod Jenkins as our safeties. Now the secondary doesn't look so much as a liability. Some people don't like Mills. I do. Our corners aren't so tall. They look like they can play. And that looks like our starting defense. We have good rotation, look like a very competitive defensive line. Walker backup as middle linebacker. Of course, looks like we're never really satisfied for our nickel corner, but now at least we don't have Patrick Robinson on the outside. We have a proven commodity supposedly in Darby, who's this is still only his 3rd year. But can Jim Schwartz, let's move up and let's talk about the coaching. Can Jim Schwartz actually utilize this defense? I know it's been a sore spot with me, Eric Rowe, and how we traded him to New England when we need cornerbacks. Next thing you know, that guy has a ring and we don't. So can Jim Schwartz actually dial up the defense, blitz when needed, but get creative enough to get at the quarterback and to cover well against a strong NFC East? On the offensive side of the ball, our running game is, we don't have an identity yet. We kept 5 running backs this year. Wendell Smallwood, Garrett Blunt, Darren Sproles, Corey Clement, and Pumphrey. That's 5 running backs. 5. Wendell Smallwood was injured all preseason. We didn't get to see him. They're saving Darren Sproles. We didn't get to see him at all. Like Garrett Blunt was up and down, but he said we played vanilla offenses just to see how things went out. It's not supposed to be representative of what we're going to see during the regular season. Corey Clement, which was an undrafted free agent rookie from Wisconsin, outplayed Pumphrey from San Diego State. So where's that our identity with the running game? Because believe it or not, I know I'm going to talk about Carson Wentz, but our running game is significant. You have to have it. Go Birds, baby. Woo! That's right. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning and we got Eagles fans. We're going to get to that. But this is how we represent. But back to our running game. Our running game has to be important. Has to be important. Because that sets up everything else. Notice that the consistent teams, the consistent winning teams have a strong running game that other defenses have to respect. So these 5 running backs, we have to find at least 2 of them the defenses respect, and a play call scheme that's not predictable. We know bubble screens are coming from Darren Sproles, but that can't be from the get-go. You have to be pounding the ball, and you have to respect this run on a regular basis, including 3rd and 1. We have to be able to sit there and say, hey, look, it's 3rd and 1. We're coming, and you can do nothing about it. So, yes, we got those 5 running backs, but then let's talk about offensive line. I know I read all sorts of stuff. Even during the offseason, they said the Eagles had the #1 offensive line in the league. And I have to be honest with you, I have to look at that and go, I want that to be true. But it's only to be proven by how we actually run the ball during the regular season. Tight ends, yes. Did I finish offensive line? No, I don't think so. You got Jason Peters, he's getting older, but can he still play? I hope so. Got Lane Johnson, he seemed pissed that he was out for 10 games last season. Is he going to be back and he's going to be furious? I hope so, because when he was in the lineup, we were just about undefeated. Pretty darn close. And then you got the middle of the line. I am concerned about Kelsey, how small he is compared to other people, right? But he's still able to pull out and block on screens. He's still able to call all the offensive protections for Wentz. Wisniewski. Guards, I'm not so concerned with. Brooks. But they have to establish the line and beat the whatever defense they're facing so we can actually have that running game. So then we can talk about, like we're about to, the passing game. With our tight ends, Zach Ertz, he's pretty much like a big wide receiver. He's not a huge blocker. I get it. Brent Selleck, I'm glad you're still here. Just veteran presence. Trey Burton. So our 3 tight ends, can they actually compete well and do well enough, semi-blocking, catching the ball? And then you got our wide receivers. Yes, we got free agents. Once again, 1-year free agents, which I'm still concerned about, but it seems like finally, once again, a #1 wide receiver from Alshon Jeffrey. Torrey Smith, the burner on the outside. Mac Hollins, I have to actually say that. I actually believe that's the reason why we're able to trade Jordan Matthews. Nelson Aguilar, which they seem to be big on, but that guy has to produce, and he has to beat the nickel cornerback every single week. And we kept Gibson over Bryce Treggs, which he did not outproduce him in the preseason. He did not look better than him. So we're keeping him, and I got to find out why. But then it also comes down to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, 2nd year. So much pressure on a guy in his 2nd year. Can he be consistent? I know he wants to be a gunslinger just like Brett Favre, but can he be consistent? Can he lead this team? Can he be unwavering? Can he be consistent and just keep moving forward? And can the coaching staff, Doug Peterson, can you put this team in a good position to win? Can you use timeouts correctly? Can your 2-minute offense look dangerous? I know that's also a lot of pressure on a second-year coach. I don't care what they say. I really don't. I don't care what they say about not being qualified or being the least qualified coach ever. Can you prove it on the field? Can you game plan past the first and second series? Can you make adjustments because of what the other team is doing towards you? And can we win? I want more than ever and anything to have a green parade on Broad Street. Yes, I was there in 2008 when the Phillies won, and it was a great time. But I can only imagine, especially going to the draft this year, what would it look like the Eagles win the Super Bowl in this city? So that being said, we start out against Washington this week in Washington. We know what they're coming to get, because guess what? We've lost against these guys the last 5 times. The last time we beat them, I think it was like 2014. That's a long time without winning against a team. So we can't talk too much trash against Washington because they have our number right now. We got to turn the tables, but what do we got to do? Very simple. They got Terrell Pryor from Cleveland. They got Crowder. They got Vernon Davis. They got Reed. We got Kirk Cousins. You have to get at Kirk Cousins. That defensive line I just got done talking about, they have to prove they can get at Kirk Cousins. They have to. They have to get at Kirk Cousins. So we don't even give them time to pass to Davis and Reed against our linebackers. To pass against Pryor, against Darby and Crowder, against Mills. And testing that secondary. We have to. And our offense. Josh Norman against Alshon Jeffrey. No, that's actually not the line. That's not the matchup I'm looking at. I'm looking at our running backs actually establishing a running game to the point that the Washington defense and Kerrigan have to respect it. So then, therefore, all of our other stuff works out. And Nelson Aguilar against their nickel corner. That's what we're looking at this week against Washington. I know this is normally a shorter video than this, but this is week 1. This is a time where all the talk goes away. The preseason stuff that doesn't even count goes away. All the hype, all the draft stuff, just like what we just saw in New England. Nobody saw that coming, how Kansas City just handily beat them. That's why New England was a 9-point favorite. All that talk just goes right away when the regular season is here. I'm actually happy to announce this year, I'm decided to travel down to DC, Section 120, and help lead the charge. The Eagles' passion down at FedEx Field as we play the Washington Redskins. So it's week 1 against Washington, down to FedEx Field. Can we win? Yeah, I know we can win. Will we? I hope we do. I'll be down there supporting my team, and I hope you do the same. So for this season, let's not just surprise people, let's dominate. Let's destroy, and let's beat the Washington Redskins. Go Birds! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Beat Washington!